Sunday. Peter Strauss, E.G. Marshall, Mason Adams, Paul Winfield, and Hal Holbrook must save America under siege.
Hi, I'm Billy Crystal. Join me when I host Friday Night Videos. It'll be unbelievable.
Hi, I'm Ron Reagan. Join me when I host Saturday Night Live.
Be there.
Who can tell us the moral of the story?
Don't chop down cherry trees.
No. Amanda?
My teacher told me I should never tell a lie.
Good. Because?
A lie will bring you trouble by and by.
Right. Dana?
It's an awful thing to do. And it's true, and true, and true. You'll feel bad, and then you'll start to cry. You'll have a horrid, painful pounding in your head. And you will feel your face get hot and turn bright red. Then your heart will start to thump. In your throat you'll get a lump. And you'll feel so bad you wish that you could lie right down and die.
You're much better off to never tell a lie.
Annie is no one. Just remember, never, never tell a lie. From the Mormons, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Volunteer, a person who of his own free will offers himself for a service or duty. The Jefferson County Department for Human Services is in search of volunteers. Volunteer probation officers give themselves to unique relationships with troubled young people. Volunteers in protective services offer solutions, support, and love to people affected by child abuse. Office of the Aging Volunteers provides special services, projects, and community planning for our elderly. Volunteer now. Call 581-5877 or 581-3713.
This is Wave TV, Stereo 3, Louisville.
As a public service, Wave TV 3 presents a rebroadcast of Wave TV News Tonight.
Wave TV News with Don Schroeder, Christy Callahan, Tom Wills, and Bob Domine.
Good evening. I'm Christy Callahan.
And I'm Don Schroeder. All that is needed is Governor Collins' signature to allow optometrists in Kentucky the right to prescribe drugs for your eyes. The Kentucky legislature passed the law today. Tonight, the Kentucky ophthalmologists have begun pressing for a governor veto of that law. Optometrists check vision and fit lenses. They are not medical doctors. Ophthalmologists are medical doctors. They claim optometrists who have 4-year degrees are technicians but do not have adequate medical training.
Since they've never been to medical school, it's equivalent to giving them access to drugs they've never used to treat diseases that they've never seen.
By 2 votes, the Kentucky Senate passed the bill giving optometrists the right to prescribe eye drops and topical drugs such as creams for their patients. The House passed it 66-27. But some legislators said the bill is dangerous.
Drugs are very powerful agents in the treatment of herpes. If you should prescribe steroids, the disease would go wild.
But the optometrists say they have more training in treating eye disease than your family doctor.
We feel that our pharmacology courses should enable us to have the same prescription rights, at least for administering medications to the eye, as the general physician.
The medical training is the very basis of why the medical doctors do not like this law. The doctors say the optometrists do not receive the necessary training.
I had the opportunity to visit the Southern College of Optometry approximately 2 years ago during a legislative session. I thought it was very interesting that they had absolutely no ophthalmologists on their staff, and their medical training was given to them by an intern, not an internist, an intern.
Dr. Eiferman told me tonight the Kentucky Medical Association will now campaign in the governor's office to try and convince Governor Collins to veto the optometrist drug bill.
In other legislative action, a House committee has approved a bill calling for Kentucky to hold a presidential primary on Super Tuesday. That's the second Tuesday of March when several southern states hold primaries. The Senate has already approved the measure. A House committee has also okayed a bill allowing voters to decide this fall if mayors of the state's largest cities should be permitted to seek re-election. The measure would affect Louisville, Frankfort, Ashland, Paducah, Owensboro, Bowling Green, Newport, and Covington.
Kentucky Supreme Court today made surrogate parenting legal in Kentucky. Tonight, Tracy Wharton talks with a woman who has used the procedure and now has a child because of it. In this report, we'll call the woman Jane because she asked that she not be identified.
We had tried every other way to have children, and every road we took, there was like a door. We couldn't get through it.
Jane and her husband turned to Dr. Richard Levine for help 5 years ago. Along with his regular practice, Dr. Levine runs the Surrogate Parenting Association in Louisville, one of the first of its kind. Levine takes sperm from the husband and inseminates another woman, as demonstrated here. The woman consents to carry the couple's child, giving up all parental rights for a price. During the past 7 years, Dr. Levine has found surrogate mothers for about 100 couples.
It was a way for us to have a child, and a child that wasn't both of ours, but at least it was part of us.
5 years ago, Kentucky's appellate court ruled that the procedure was illegal, applying a law that prevents baby brokers from offering financial incentives for mothers to give up their babies. Kentucky's highest court now says the procedure is legal because it doesn't violate that law. Dr. Levine agrees.
We have been performing the service of surrogate parenting since 1979. I don't think you have seen on the news or any place anyone screaming that here is a baby being sold or bought or anything. We have had orderly business with mature adults, mature married adults, both surrogates and couples, and we've had no difficulties, and we have not caused screams to come from Frankfurt because of bad business.
The case was brought in 1981 by then Attorney General Stephen Beshear. Beshear now says any future attempts to control surrogate parenting is up to the legislature.
We're creating life through this process. There are no abortions done. We are creating families and life, and I think anything that does that is good.
On Liberty Street, Tracy Wharton, Wave TV News.
Another ruling, or actually a lack of one, comes as a defeat to 14-year-old Ryan White. He's the Kokomo, Indiana boy with AIDS who's seeking permission to attend a public middle school. The school superintendent has barred him from doing so, citing possible dangers to other students. At a hearing today, the Indiana Department of Education sidestepped the issue and ruled the family decision should be made by Kokomo's chief medical official. Ryan's attorney had this reaction.
Now we're back on a technicality as to whether or not this local health officer, who's heard none of the evidence, hasn't been at any of the hearings, hasn't had anything to do with AIDS and all this expert medical advice and opinions. He hadn't heard a word of it. Now it looks like he's going to decide the whole fate of Ryan White.
Ryan is currently being taught through a telephone and computer hookup at the school. Don?
There are a lot of reasons some students may have trouble learning. Studies show black students may learn differently from whites because of cultural differences. That was part of what 200 Jefferson County teachers and counselors learned today in a seminar at Jefferson Community College. Today's guest speaker told the group that teachers need to be sensitive to the cultures of different ethnic groups. Language is one example why.
If I were to say to you, I be's glad to be here, and someone heard that I was a PhD, there would be something in their mind to say, where did you go to school? Because we put a lot of value in our society on how people talk. In the black community, how you talk isn't important. The way you say things is what's important.
This two-day workshop on black learning styles continues tomorrow, and it is open to the public.
Louisville police are still searching for a 15-year-old boy tonight wanted in connection with the shooting of a classmate at Johnson Middle School. Police say the two apparently had an argument and carried it onto school grounds before classes started this morning. The boy who was shot is being treated at Kosar Children's Hospital for wounds in the lower back and buttocks. He's in fair condition. Just ahead, the troubleshooter tells us about a boat offer that just doesn't float.
In 1984, GM car owners may have big trouble under the hood. Stay with us.
Follow the crowd to Oxmoor Center's 5-hour final winter sale. And don't miss the famous Arabian Horse Show. Oxmoor Center, the center for all your favorite stores.
AT&T wants you to think that they're different from MCI. But with MCI's Dial 1 long-distance service, you call the same way, to the same places, coast to coast, with the same information operators and the same clear connections as AT&T. And, MCI saves you money. Maybe that's the difference that AT&T was talking about.
When asked to choose a long-distance company for your home or business, choose MCI.
Announcing a special offer at Wendy's.
Another burger offer. Whoopee.
But our offer starts with a quarter-pound of fresh ground beef.
Okay, Wendy's, the fresh part, I'll give you.
Served hot off the grill with cheese and crisp bacon.
A bacon cheeseburger? Oh, Wendy's, you're reaching me.
Then we top it with your choice of fresh toppings.
And the offer?
Now you can get it all for only $1.49. Wendy's Bacon Cheeseburger for a limited time, only $1.49.
Hundreds of planes with certain Pratt & Whitney engines will soon be inspected for cracks. The inspections were ordered today by federal aviation officials who say those cracks could result in a major part of the engine breaking loose. The FAA directive applies to about 1,000 Boeing 727s, 350 Boeing 737s, and 580 DC-9 airplanes in this country. FAA officials say the inspections should not affect airline service.
General Motors is also having some problems. The car maker is discovering cracks in some 1984 2.5-liter four-cylinder engines. Now, if you own one of these cars, General Motors will pay your repair bill, but they won't specifically tell you about the problem. GM predicts about 400,000 cars will have the problem. The cars develop cracks in the engine, allowing coolant to mix with the engine oil. Local dealers advise be aware of a drop in coolant.
If there is a crack in the cylinder block, Chevrolet has made a special policy to extend the warranty on that to 5 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first. If it is cracked, Chevrolet will replace the block with a new camshaft and lifters at no expense to the customer.
General Motors originally said it would pay for repairs only if they occur during the regular 2-year warranty period. But now the car maker, as you heard Mr. Cochran say, it has agreed to extend that warranty to 5 years or 100,000 miles.
Troubleshooter Nell Taylor has been getting some letters on products she'd like to see recalled. You might remember Nell telling us about some folks who found out their free fishing boats ended up being plastic rafts. Now she tells us some local people are finding out that those rafts aren't even free.
Marshall C. fell for it. He got a letter saying he was invited to try a new product, a 3-man fishing boat. All he had to do was pay for shipping and service charges, $119.
It sounded pretty good. What it's saying that you want a power boat, a motorboat free with an outboard motor, a fishing boat, if you would participate in this test survey of the product.
And what did you get?
I got a rubber raft.
Well, for $119, Mr. C didn't just get a rubber raft. We'll be fair. He got 2 oars and a pump to blow up the boat. And oh yes, most valuable of all, an outboard motor, battery operated, battery not included. But Mr. C could buy the battery for $19.95 and a charger for another $19.95. When his big gift arrived, Mr. C immediately called the company.
The guy told me that I couldn't return the product, but they would credit my account with 1/2 of the price, which would have been $59.50, or I could have received, so they say, $42 worth of accessories free if I kept it, or I could pay $30 to have them come and pick the boat up.
Now, the company Mr. C was hooked by has a Beverly Hills, California address, but another viewer wrote me a letter about a similar offer. This one comes out of Oakland Park, Florida. They're only charging $89 for a boat and motor.
It really doesn't upset me that much, the price of it, but the deception does.
This is another we'll alert California authorities about, but this is to alert you. There's no such thing as a free ride. Have a problem? Need an answer? Write me at Post Office Box 32970, Louisville 40232.
The advantages of doing business in Kentucky will soon be heard nationwide. A reception to the Churchill Downs Museum today kicked off an agreement between Kentucky businessmen and Forbes magazine. Forbes will carry a special Kentucky supplement in one of its spring magazine editions. Secretary of Commerce Carol Nicely welcomed special guest Malcolm Forbes Jr. to tonight's reception.
The state of Kentucky has been having great progress in job creation. There's a great business story to tell. So what is happening is that the state and Forbes magazine are getting together in a partnership to get the message across to the American business community that this is a growing state, a vigorous state, that there is a story, good story to tell.
And so we're working together, and we think it's going to work out very well to our mutual benefit and to the benefit of the people and the businesses of Kentucky.
That Kentucky supplement is expected to run in May.
Well, it was another good day for business on Wall Street. The stock market set another record. For the first time in history, the Dow closed above 1,600. The Dow gained 7.5 points in heavy trading. The Dow Jones Industrials have gained more than 200 points in the last 3 months. Coming up, Tom Wills has the return of Old Man Winter.
Education is more than just books on a shelf. Today, colleges and universities require faster, more economical handling of information. South Central Bell is finding new ways of applying communications technology to their specific needs, creating a unique network of people and technology, expanding the scope of the classroom without expanding the classroom itself. When it comes to communications, we wrote the book. South Central Bell. Call on us.
A Valentine card for Louise. Imagine taking a blind date to your senior prom. How brave we both were. But it was love at first sight. And now, 20 years later, it's still love at first sight.
American Greetings always finds new ways to say love.
Look for American Greetings Valentine's Day cards at Hook's dependable drugstores.
Next on Hart to Hart.
You'll pass. Pass. For Jonathan and Jennifer Hart.
They've got Max and we can't do anything about it.
You're not going to risk killing a federal agent, are you?
Not if you convince him you're the Harts.
He can't find out that we're us.
But these doubles are coming in here any minute.
Bagnall Diamond. These are worth killing for.
Catch Hart to Hart, Friday at 4 on Wave TV Stereo 3.
It has been another down day on the tobacco market. Kentucky farmers sold nearly 4 million pounds today at an average price of $1.57 a pound, down slightly from yesterday's average. The top price was paid in Bowling Green, the low in Lebanon.
Well, all the gardeners thought they're going to be out planting tobacco or whatever this week.
A few weeks ago, the farmers were begging for some rain to get some moisture in the air to get tobacco back on the market.
They got it.
They get paid off.
They certainly have. Once the rain started, it's apparently not going to stop around town. So far this month, we have far, far exceeded the month of January, and we're running pretty close to normal for the entire month of February. Look at those figures today. Rainfalls today, showers and thunder shower popped up just about 1 inch of rain in Louisville. For the month, that gives us almost 3 inches, and for the total for the year now, it's just about 4 inches. So we've picked up quite a bit here this first week of February. Well, around the nation tonight, around the Ohio Valley tonight, the radar screen has died down quite a bit. There's hardly anything showing right now. Few very light showers or even drizzle from about Scottsburg over toward the Madison area up toward North Vernon. A few more showers off to our east and southeast and around Taylorsville going over toward Anderson County and over toward Frankfort. The reason we're not seeing very much, we know it's still wet outside and we had quite a bit of rain today, but the screen is just not showing much. The reason for that? Well, it's drizzle. Drizzle shows very, very, very tiny little drops come down, very numerous numbers above them, of course. They just don't show up very well on the radar screen, so even though it is still drizzling around town, we're not seeing it on the screen because it's so small. Today in Louisville, 47 the high, 38 the overnight low, 45 degrees here at 11 o'clock. Humidity is way up there, the pressure finally rising tonight, and the winds from the southwest at 9, but gusting over 20 miles an hour occasionally. Well, this evening, looking around the nation, we've got an area of low pressure came right across the Ohio Valley today, caused a variety of weather across the eastern part of the country. First of all, the low is now up around the Cincinnati area and moving rapidly on toward about Pennsylvania by tomorrow morning. It caused a few severe storms to our south and east, one around Laurel County over toward Knox County in the mountains today, knocked down a few trees and did a little minor damage over there. A few more heavy storms in eastern Tennessee and along Georgia as well. They've all died down, though, this evening. Causing some freezing rain now across parts of Pennsylvania and New York State, and back on the cold air side of that area of low pressure, across parts of Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois, had quite heavy snows, especially in Missouri. The northern half of the state had around 3 to 5 inch accumulations this afternoon, still flurrying out there tonight. We had expected earlier to see some heavy snows around Indiana by tomorrow morning. That apparently will not happen now. The storm is going too fast toward the east, kind of outrunning all that moisture. But a second area of low pressure, this one back coming off the southern Rocky Mountain states, will come very rapidly following the same path, may give us a chance of some rain or snow tomorrow night. But it'll probably be the best chance will be on Sunday when a third storm comes our way, could also give us some light snow. It is very, very cold across the northwestern part of the country. A massive area of high pressure forming out there should make things quite cold here by the latter part of the weekend and through a large part of next week. This evening's satellite photograph shows a huge array of cloud cover across the eastern part of the country. See it swirled, wrapped around the area of low pressure back here across the central U.S. So even though the low is going to be going away, the clouds are going to stay around, and so will some drizzle into the morning hours. Although we should see no snow from this activity, it will turn somewhat colder as time progresses tomorrow, and again, going to stay on the cloudy side as well. Well, around the Ohio Valley tonight, we still have a few patches of light rain and drizzle basically north and east of Louisville. The activity is pretty light all the way around here, heavier toward the Covington area. Temperatures showing a quite wide variation, 31 degrees and snow at Indy to 50 degrees over Lexington and London at this hour. But we're all going to be getting the winds from the northwest by tomorrow morning, cooling things down. So our forecast for Louisville shows some more drizzle, some patchy fog in the area, and around 40 degrees for the overnight low. By then tomorrow, expect to see a lot of cloud cover once again, fairly windy and turning colder, temperatures dropping to the 30s by the afternoon hours tomorrow. A slight chance of some rain or snow tomorrow night, then mostly cloudy and cold on Saturday, a chance of snow again on Sunday, and turning progressively colder for the next 3 or 4 days. If you're weather sensitive, the aches and pains category dropping down to low for the first time in a long time. Respiratory stress also low to moderate through tomorrow.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Bob Domine joins us next with Louisville Downs opening night.
And we'll also be live at Freedom Hall for the aftermath of tonight's Louisville-Virginia Tech game.
Sharing times when the wind blows free, when the sun is bright and the day is cold. Sharing all the tears and laughter, the times when you are bold. In all our lives there are seasons, every season we are there. Citizens Fidelity, for all the seasons of your life.
On the last $1 million chance of a lifetime, Barbara and Eddie Alcobia took their first step toward winning
$1 million.
They solved the chance of a lifetime bonus round with just seconds remaining.
You got it, Hunter, right, and you have done it.
Now, can they continue on the road to $1 million?
I'm having so much fun, I want to come back.
Or will they lose to the challengers? Find out on the next $1 million chance of a lifetime.
Don't miss it Friday night at 7:30 on Wave TV3.
I think we can accurately say it was a fun time at Freedom Hall.
Showtime! The moon was full and the sky was red and the Hokies came tumbling down. Louisville was staggering tonight as they swept by stunned Virginia Tech 103-66 tonight at Freedom Hall. The fun was everywhere. 4 of the players in double figures. Let's go to Freedom Hall now and take in some of the fun. Milt Wagner was off to the races early. This fast break lay-in, part of a does. 4 players hit in double figures, as I mentioned. Jeff Hall, hot of the bomb tonight. This one from the charity stripe, part of a 14-point night. Nice feed from Mark McSwain. They had a bushel basket full of assists tonight. Moments later, Billy Thompson with a steal. Part of 5 assists tonight to Tony Kimbrough, and Louisville led 36-24 with 5:14 left in the half. And now watch the move by Purvis Ellison down the Primrose Lane for 2 of his 8. The Cards led 47-30, and Charlie Moyer watching the drawing board, burning before his very eyes. Del Curry way off his 23-point average tonight, here 2 of 14. But look at Louisville, back in their face. Thompson, put it home, baby! Ooh! South, Herbert Cook, another night with a lunch pail. 2 the hard way coming up. He follows in his own rebound for 19, 2 behind Thompson's game-high 21. And then the subs mopped up the win. Kenny Payne had 5, Abram had 4, McSwain 6, and the ubiquitous Robbie Valentine a half does and 4 fouls in just 4 minutes. Chris West, you'll see in a moment, put Louisville over the century mark. Barry Katz is live at Freedom Hall now with, I think, Tony Kimbrough, right?
Tony Kimbrough just told me he loved the score. Let me give you a little background on the last time that Louisville scored 100 points. It was back in December 12th, 1983. Louisville beat Indiana State 105-69 when Tony Kimbrough was in diapers. Do you remember that game?
No, I don't remember that as for me.
What was it like playing a game like this? Finally, the Louisville Cardinals had reached their potential.
Well, it was fun, you know, because we showed the crowd that we can play, and we can play 40 minutes. And we just worked hard, and, you know, the game turned out exciting.
What was the difference in the locker room before the game? Coach Crum commented afterward that there was a lot more seriousness going on.
Yeah, you know, because this is conference time, and everybody plays over their head and everything. They're coming into our gym, you know, and everyone wants to beat us so bad that we know that we have to play tough, too. See, we just played real aggressive and played for 40 minutes, and I think that was a factor.
All right, one more question. You're playing them next Monday night there. What do you expect?
Well, I think it's going to be real rough, you know, playing them at their home, and then, you know, we're beating them so bad, so, you know, we beat them pretty bad, and they're going to be real angry and hungry, so I think we're going to have to come prepared.
Congratulations on a good game, Tony Kimbrough. This is Barry Katz with the Wave Live Eye at Freedom Hall.
Angry and hungry is right. Memphis State's aircraft carrier leading scorer William Bedford has been suspended for 2 games for apparent NCAA violations. Bedford was in an auto accident last April 20th. It was discovered he was in a 1983 Jaguar supplied by a booster. Bedford also was caught twice earlier in the month for speeding tickets in a 1983 Lincoln. The Louisville Thunder at a rare night, practice night. Oh, let's go to the scoreboard first. So we do that. In the SEC, Auburn hangs to whatever chance they've got left, beating Florida tonight at home, 67-65. In the Big Ten, Steve Alford's 23. Indiana wins. Ohio State big over Northwestern. It is a 1-point win. Michigan passed Purdue. Big one at Purdue for Michigan. Scott Skiles 25. Michigan State beats Illinois. In the Sun Belt, Western goes down. Old Dominion too tough at home. Top 20, Georgia Tech a win over NC Charlotte. Johnny Dawkins 20, David Henderson 20. Duke passed Virginia. In Kentucky basketball tonight, a pair of 90s, the Bellarmine men and the Bellarmine women win. Steve Miller had 25, Stephanie Tracy 16. In high school action, it is Oldham County past Henry County. KCD beaten by Trinity. Pete Jones and Russ Grant each had 15. On the girls' side, in overtime, Julie Garino's 24, Sacred Heart past Holy Rosary, nothing in Mercy Manual. It is Shelby County past Eastern, nothing in North Hardin Bullitt Central. Among the college women, Mount St. Joseph beat IUS 74-51 tonight. We won't have the chance to talk about the Thunder. Maybe we'll get a chance to do that tomorrow. We're just having so much fun talking about the Louisville win tonight. Weren't they fun, huh?
Same team that almost lost to South Carolina this week.
Yeah, is that amazing?
Yeah, it is amazing.
Hungry. In just a minute, a local dance company gets ready for its 6th season.
You have no time to lose. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, during Rex's 3-day sale on name brand color TVs, microwave ovens, audio and video equipment at incredible savings. Like this RCA 13-inch color TV for only $169, or this RCA SelectaVision video recorder for only $259, and this nationally sold microwave oven for only $97. That's Rex's 3-day sale. Hurry, before your time is gone.
Two good friends in a new light. A romance between Leroy and Miss Grant on the next Fame.
Leroy, do me a favor. If I promise not to call you Mr. Johnson, do you think you could call me Lydia?
I think I can handle that. Don't miss television's best. The next all-new episode of the Emmy Award-winning Fame.
Watch it Saturday at 7 on Wave TV Stereo 3.
I'm Angie Dickinson. Don't miss all the action on the next policewoman.
Stabbed 6 times, twice in the heart.
Neighbors, nobody saw anything?
No.
We're looking for her hard.
What?
Right back to her pimp. That could be the start of some new pattern. There's someone out there all wrapped up in hate.
Yes, for policewomen. In case you forget, that's what I am. I'm a cop.
Policewoman, Sunday at 11:30 p.m. on Wave TV Stereo 3.
Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, George Jones, Roger Miller, Hank Williams Jr. A rare gathering of music giants in a 2-hour super special. The door is always open.
Sunday night at 12:30.
He is 75 years old, but says he feels like a young 39. I'm talking about President Reagan. He celebrated his birthday with a party today in Washington. First Lady Nancy wheeled in the cake and led the traditional singing of Happy Birthday. And the president received birthday greetings from more than 100 world leaders.
Well, there was a celebration of dance going on tonight at the Spalding University campus. We found the dress rehearsal of the Fleet Street Contemporary Dance Company in full swing. This will be the company's first performance of 1986, and it's called An Evening of Contemporary Dance. The group started performing 5 years ago, and if you'd like to see the show firsthand, performances are scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday at 8 p.m., and I understand you can get tickets at the door.
Very nice.
Well, they look in excellent shape, don't they?
Oh,
hold
they
those
certainly do.
pliés and things.
They're what now?
Didn't think I knew about that sort of stuff, did you?
We'd like to see you do it.
Forget it. He knows one word of ballet.
Yeah. And he just used it. Have a good night.
Good night.
This is WAVE-TV, Channel 3, Louisville. WAVE-TV is owned and operated by Cosmos Broadcast Corporation and transmits on Channel 3 between the frequencies of 60 and 66 megahertz by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. This is Chuck Castile saying goodnight for all the members of the staff of WAVE-TV until this morning when we resume regular telecasting. Good night from WAVE-TV at Television Center, 725 South Floyd Street in Louisville, Kentucky.